Okay.
All right. Who's got the first question?
All right, Coach. Let's talk about quarterbacks. How do you see them going?
You know, I think it'll be exciting to get out there. Obviously, Matt will have an edge because of his experience. You know, he's played a whole season. Should be way, should just really help him a lot. But you know, Jake's got all kinds of talent. You know, Jake's got a big live arm, and it'll be exciting to get him out there. And then Gunnar will get a lot of snaps also this spring.
What do you think? What are you hoping gets solved here in the spring?
I just want to see him get better every day. You know, as long as they improve every single day and we keep moving forward and keep getting better, I think that's the main thing.
When it comes to Jake and the offense he played in high school, taking 9-10 throws a game, what's the thing you're looking for most out of him this spring?
You know, he got all kinds of snaps last year. We still got him a lot of work, and so it's just him understanding the offense, and the more reps he gets and the more he sees defenses and just the more experience he gets throwing the ball.
What kind of tweaks did you want to see Matt make to his game during the offseason?
You know, I think the biggest thing is just his overall knowledge. I think the more experience you get anytime you go from one year being a starter to the next year, you're going to make huge improvements. Obviously we got to take care of the ball better as a whole offense. But that's all of us. That's all 11 guys. But that's something definitely that he can improve on. He's gotten himself bigger, stronger, and faster. So that's real. He's a lot faster right now. He's up to 210. Physically he's improved himself a lot.
Does Matt go into the end of spring as the starter, or is it just?
Yeah, he's going as a starter. He started all last year. Yeah, so he's definitely the starter right now, and Jake's the backup. But every day at every single position, there's always competitions.
At the wide receiver spot, you had some vacancies there in the offseason. Josh gone, Rich gone. Who are you hoping to step up there at that spot?
Well, Desmond's back. So definitely that's, he was our best receiver 2 years ago. So he'll definitely step in and help out there. I thought Jacob Shannon played really well, at the end of the year. So that's somebody that definitely can step in and has a lot of experience, has played for 2 years. Dave Unger got a lot of experience last year. So I think, just off the top, those would be the 3 guys that have the most experience. I think it's time for Ruben to have a breakout year and start making things happen. He's very talented. He's got great speed. He's also gotten a lot stronger, so I think that can help. And then, Kalen Hightower is a new junior college player that has a lot of speed, and a lot of explosion. And then it's time for Jermaine to start making some plays. Jermaine kind of improved as the whole year went on. I think he's had a really good winter. So those would be your top 7 guys, and just kind of battle it out and see who ends up 1 through 7, because obviously whoever's 1's going to get the most balls, and whoever's 2's going to get the second most.
What did Desmond have to show you to earn his spot back on the roster?
He had to do a good job getting his grades. First of all, he's going to graduate. So he did a great job there, and then he just had to basically keep his nose clean and stay out of trouble and do things right. And he's done that, and he just needs to continue to do that. And he's always been a hard worker. He's always one of the hardest working guys at practice. So he just has to. He did everything. We kind of put a whole line of parameters and things he had to do, and he's done them all so far.
And how about Chris Edwards coming back onto the team?
Yeah, that was a case of he decided he wanted to come back, and I've always been a guy to give guys a second chance. He never did anything wrong. He wasn't in trouble. He just quit, and so. Kind of made the decision that he wanted to come back, and so he's still got a lot of work to do academically to get himself so that he can play next year. He's worked hard this winter, and it'll be exciting to see him out of spring.
Coach, a video that went viral of Ryan Edwards breaking the school power clean record, everyone huddling around him. Was that a pretty good reflection of how upbeat the offseason was?
Yeah, it was. And then it was great to see Ryan. Ryan's had a really good offseason. He had he had that lift, but he also, if you had the 3 lifts combined, was the strongest guy on our team. And it's just been a real upbeat, positive. I think all the guys that are in the locker room right now, I feel like the locker room's really good right now. I think the leadership's really good. So we just need to go out and have 15 great days of practice.
Do players bring up the record at all? And if so, is it a thing of motivation to improve on it?
No question. And then I think, getting the bowl band lifted, I think that's definitely something that they're all excited about, and so now it's just our job to go out and take them one game at a time, and most importantly, win that opener against Ohio. That's something that they've all been talking about and kind of done, a little extra every day, whether it's running or lifting, and to beat Ohio. I'm talking about beating them all off season. So, that'll be exciting here at home on a Thursday night, and it'll be a lot of fun.
With Chris, did he approach you for the move to linebacker, or is it something that you kind of wanted to see happen?
It was just kind of something that, by our personnel, we want to get faster, and so we're just trying to get as many fast guys on the field as we can. So that was really more of our idea than it was his.
You had a few coaching changes with your assistants. Did you initiate those changes, like Ronnie leaving, things like that?
That was just kind of something that a couple of the guys decided that they thought there were some jobs out there that were better, and it's just something that we've kind of moved on and wish them all the best. A bunch of really good men, and I think we have real good guys to replace them.
And while you were trying to bolster your defense at the time in the off season, was that an issue with recruiting, having the coaching changes, trying to convince kids?
No, not really, not at all, because it all happened after recruiting. To be honest with you. So they didn't know, that really wasn't a case in the recruiting.
Who are some of the guys that really stood out to you the most in the offseason, or coming out of the offseason?
Coming out of the offseason, I'd have to say Ryan Edwards had a really good. Quentin Bradley, you couldn't be, for the position he plays and what he's running right now and the lifts that he's throwing up, he's got it all. He's just got to go out and do it now. He couldn't be any stronger, faster, more athletic than he is right now. I think Steve Madlock made huge gains in the weight room. He's probably the strongest offensive lineman, where Ryan Edwards and Twaney and Quentin Bradley are probably the three. Those are the four strongest guys on the team, so three of them are defensive linemen. Jordan Rose is a guy that's just, tough, ornery, get after, the kind of football player you want, but had never really done a whole lot in the weight room, so he made big strides in the weight room. So, those are guys that really excite you, how they've improved. Ruben, who I talked about earlier, he really made big strides in the weight room. So, there's quite a few of them. We made 6 teams in the weight room this year, and just to have competition every day. We picked 2 captains for each team, an offensive guy and a defensive guy, and they got points. They either earned points or lost points every single day on just doing little things that they're coached to do, technique-wise, and then at the end, a lot of times we'd have competition, whether it was the eye test or it was running 20s or running 40s or pushing sleds, and the captain of the teams that won were Dallas Sandberg and Quinn Bradley. So that their team really stood out. Some guys on their team that got them a lot of points. Dail was getting them a lot of points, and then some different guys. So their team did a real good job.
Would you say this is the best off season you've had yet?
Yes, no question, by far.
Okay, let's go to the phones for a minute. Dave, I'm guessing Mark also joined in. Name and affiliation, please.
Sure, Coach, Dave Southern, Idaho Statesman here. Wanted to ask you a little about the defense. You mentioned some of those guys that have impressed you, but what is it about kind of the defense as a whole that has you optimistic that how the ball can turn it around? And I obviously know that that's something that you guys really want to do this offseason.
Yeah, I think the defensive front has got to be where it really starts, because I think we definitely have some talented guys. You already mentioned 3 of them with Quentin and Twaney and Ryan Edwards, and then Glenn Antoine's a kid that was here all last year. We redshirted him all year, but he's very talented, another inside guy. Kevin Shelton that we moved to defensive line, I think he's had a really good offseason and can really help us. Leonard Hazelwood is a junior college guy that got here in January, and I think he's going to help us off the edge and just build a lot of competition out there. Zach Cables had to redshirt last year because he was injured. So there's just a lot of, and Kevin White is another new junior college. So there's a lot of competition there. That really excites you up front. I think linebacker, having Mark return, having Brock return, moving Chris Edwards to linebacker, and then a guy that everyone around here is going to know his name for many years to come, in my opinion, is Caden Ellis. We gray shirted him. He got in here in January. And if he can look out there in pads like he looks in the weight room and runs around out on the field doing agilities, he's going to be a big-time star for years to come, because he's a very talented, can bend, can change directions, and just very excited about him. I think he's going to do a lot of great things for us. And then in the secondary, we brought in a lot of new guys, so you know, at the corner position, there's really 5 guys battling for 2 positions, and between Kendrick Taylor and Kendrick Trotter and Isaiah Taylor and DJ Hampton are the 3 new junior college guys. You got Jay Sean back. Dorian Clark is a kid that played last year as a freshman that's really improved. So those 5 guys are really battling for those 2 positions. And then at safety, you got Russell returning, Jordan Grabsky, Desmond Banks will be back after being out last year, being injured, and then we moved Freisinger to safety. So those 4 are kind of battling for those 2 positions, and there's just a lot more speed back there and a lot more competition. So I'm excited about our front. I think we're going to be really good up front. You know, got a lot of experience back at linebacker, you know, guys that have made a lot of plays, and then just a lot more speed in the secondary.
Ellis, a linebacker, is that what you're playing?
Yeah, Caden will be a linebacker. And right now, him and Mark are playing the same position. They're both playing the will. But, you know, there could be a case where there's some different things that we do where we get them both on the field.
Is anything that, you know, this season, schematically or anything on defense that you're going to try to change, or what maybe you're going to try to do differently to get that turned around? Yeah, there'll be some things that we do different. You know, I don't know if I really want to say them right now so Ohio can work them all spring ball. But yeah, it will definitely look different on the defensive side of the ball than we have. And I know people have talked a bit about the non-conference scheduling and stuff like that. But, you know, as the coach, you know, when you look at the schedule ahead, non-conference, what do you think about it, and how much input do you have on what you want to see out of it?
I think, you know, having Ohio at home to start the year off is very exciting. We had a great chance to beat them down there last year, and to open at home to me is really exciting. To actually have 6 home games is very exciting. You know, then we're going to go down to USC, and we'll travel to Auburn, and then, you know, have Wolford at home also. So I think it's a good schedule. It's a challenging one. We got the 4 teams we played on the road in conference at home now. And so, you know, we play the best 2 teams probably in the conference right off the bat, you know, with Georgia Southern at home right off the bat, and then Arkansas State on the road. So, you know, it's kind of a lot of the toughest teams will be early in the year, and we just got to do a great job of winning that opener and getting on the right track.
Good? Back to the room.
Can you confirm the reports that you have Mike Bresky as your new defensive coordinator?
He will be. I can confirm that. He's not, you know, right now he's helping us as a volunteer, and he'll end up being at this.
You talked about the schedule. Obviously, you're trying to build a program here, and you're trying to build a fan base as well. Can you talk about how big those games are to help build a fan base, to know you got 6 games, to know you're starting the season at home?
Yeah, I think that's really big. I think I've said since the day I got here that to build a great program, you got to win at home. You got to win all your games at home. So, you know, there's no question that we have a great opportunity to beat Ohio in the opener, and then have Wolford our second home game, and go into the conference with you know, two game winning streak at home, and then have Georgia Southern come in here. So, you know, hopefully that's the case, and this place is just packed and going crazy when you know, last year's champions come into the dome to play.
Coach, with you know, Marvo departing, who are you looking forward to you know, to really take the reins on the offensive line as a leader?
Well, I think Dallas Sandberg's done a great job of leading this in this offseason. Madlock will start out as the center. And he's made really good gains in his strength, and he's always been a tough guy. He's going to give you everything he's got. But I think Dallas has done a really good job of leading, and I think Jordan Rose has done a good job of leading. And you know, you have those 3 guys inside. I feel like we're going to be pretty, you know, very experienced and pretty tough inside. And then you know, you got Mason Woods back at 1 tackle, and then it's kind of the 5th starter that they're kind of, you know, that the guys will be battling for it between Calvin White, who's been playing for 2 years with us, Cato, who missed last season because he was injured, and then you got you know, a couple new guys. Devin Willis is just here, and Andrew Herbs, and so we're kind of, you'll see some different lineups with some guys playing at guard, sometimes playing outside of tackle, and we'll just got to find who our 5th best player is, and then move guys around wherever that fits.
You have to go into fall camp knowing who your starters are going to be at certain spots, or is it still going to be wide open by the time you get to fall?
I think you'd like to, but I think you always want to keep the competition. And that's something that excites me, as you know, kind of brought in the 2 depth charts, is there's a lot of competition across the board where I think guys will come out of spring as the starter, but there's going to be a guy right there nipping at their tail that can take their job if they let up one bit.
When Kareem Coles comes in, do you expect him to play at all, or do you want to redshirt him, or do you see yourself using him in different packages, kind of like you used Chad?
That'll be something that we could do. You know, that's definitely something that we'll have a package, and then it'll just come down to, like every single freshman, if you're mentally and physically ready to go, then you'll do it. And if you need to, I don't like to really tell any freshman that they're going to redshirt, because I'd rather have them come in working all off season to play. And then if they're physically and mentally ready to play, then you play them.
What kind of things have you seen, you know, guys go into summer do to lose or gain, you know, a job in the fall?
I think it's really just whoever is the most dedicated and whoever puts in the most work, you know, and then they just go all summer and they do a great job in the weight room. They do a great job out there running. The players go out there and practice on their own, and then they do a really good job studying the offense and just becoming smarter football players. I think that's how you win it. And if you lose, it's probably because the guy next to you did a better job of that than you did.
We good?
Is Coach Al still with the program?
Yes.
Outside of football, you get to enjoy your off season at all?
You know, you kind of have that little season between recruiting ends and spring ball, and yeah, really enjoyed it. Just got to be around my kids a lot, around my wife, and so that was great. And now we're back at it. So it's I can't wait. It's going to be real fun starting tomorrow. It's going to be a really exciting spring ball.
With Richard, why did he tell you that he wanted to leave? And do you have someone who you think can fill in his spot and kind of do the things he did for you guys?
Yeah, you know, it was just something where I didn't feel he was doing the things that I wanted him to do, and then kind of talked to him about it a couple different times, and then it was before the Appalachian State game, and then, you know, that was just the case where we didn't bring him on the trip, and that's kind of where it all started. But I definitely think, you know, some of the freshmen that are coming in can do what he did, and I think Ruben's another guy that can do some of the things he did.